In this video, I'm going to tell you how I got into playing Irish music on the melodica. And then I'll play you a few tunes so you can hear what it sounds like. If we haven't met yet, I'm Darren from MelodicaWorld, and I make videos about getting creative with your melodica. So if that sounds like your sort of thing, you better subscribe and hit the bell. Now, it all started for me around 10 years ago when this friend of mine dragged me to an Irish music session at the local pub. I had no idea what to expect. Despite being half Irish, I'd never really listened to traditional Irish music before. Well, I was blown away as soon as we got through those pub doors. The atmosphere was so joyous and vibrant, and there was a warmth that was like coming home. The musicians, they were in full swing around the table. They were playing these ancient tunes which sounded so complicated and intricate, but they were playing them with such ease. And then when they weren't playing, they were just having a great time, laughing, drinking, chatting, until someone would just spontaneously start a tune, and then everyone else would start in, and they all knew exactly what to play. Now, I was inspired, and I really wanted to be able to play like that, and I wanted to join them at that table and be part of that celebration. I just didn't know how I was going to do it yet, but I knew I needed it. So how was I going to make this happen? Well, I already played the piano, but I was hardly going to drag a piano along to an Irish session. There was the option of an electric piano, but they're so heavy and cumbersome. And I didn't really want to play an accompanying instrument. I really wanted to play one of those melody instruments like the flute or the fiddle or the button accordion. Now, I also loved the sound of the concertina, and a friend of mine lent me his concertina for a couple of weeks so I could try it out. But a couple of weeks of trying to figure this thing out just left me in no doubt that I was not going to learn the concertina. But there was this one idea I had about playing the melodica. I'd already experimented with playing the melodica in classical compositions, and I really loved this instrument, but I'd never really taken the time to learn it properly. Now, the sound of the melodica is really similar to the concertina, so why not kill two birds with one stone and learn Irish music on the melodica? So I felt a little adventure coming on, and I decided I was going to head over to northern India, up into the Himalayas, where I was going to have some time and space to practice melodica, as well as do some meditation retreats. So when I got there, I found this little room at the top of the mountains with a spectacular view. And I started listening to my favourite concertina player, Michael O'Reilly. I just picked one tune and I broke it into little segments, and I played them over and over again, hours and hours every day, just trying to work out what the hell he was doing. So I was spending my time alternating between melodica practice and meditation, and after a while they seemed to merge. I found when I was doing my melodica practice, I would notice when my mind started wandering and I'd bring it back. And I started becoming really aware of just the sound, and I was letting that guide me. I was also becoming aware of the sensations in my body when I was pressing a key, or just what it really felt like to hold an instrument. I was developing this sensitivity in the meditation and also outside of the meditation while I was playing. Now, my playing took on this sort of effortless quality, and when it was working, it seemed to sort of resonate throughout my body, and I didn't have to do any expression. I sort of stepped back from the process, and it did itself. So I stayed there for around a year before coming back to London, where I continued the practice and also started getting work as a TV composer. So it took quite a few years, but I eventually started getting good enough to be able to play Irish melodica on some of my own TV music. Now, I'm not sure anyone realised they were listening to a melodica, but there were no complaints, and this music was going out as traditional music on RTE, and there were some really nice credits. There was The Three Musketeers on BBC Netflix, Moonboy on Sky, Aid at Sea on ITV, if you know your English channels. I was playing at the London pub sessions by then, so I'd finally got my place at that table. But I was playing quite an unconventional instrument, and Irish traditional music is quite a traditional world, so I was getting the odd disapproving look. But by then I'd started making my own instruments, and I had this wooden melodica, and that fitted in much more, both in looks and sound. Well, that's my journey so far. Who knows what the future will bring? One thing I love about the melodica is it has no history. It's a new instrument. You can really make it your own, and you can play whatever music you want on it. Have you started your journey yet? I'm really excited to see where it takes you. Let's have a look at where it took me.